said, let us move on to the next session that we have planned for you, and that is the contest management training session. And for that session, we have a stalwart of District 121 to come and present this session to you. She's been working behind the scenes meticulously, coming forth with planning and preparation for this particular session. She's also my previous division director last year, and I've learned a lot from her during this past year as well. Now, she is someone who is very calm and a very soothing voice and a very strong personality in the district as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, as our contest management trainer for today, please welcome on stage distinguished Toastmaster Licy John. Over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Licy.
Thank you, Cyrus, for that introduction. And good morning to all my fellow Toastmasters. Today, 26th January, our country is celebrating our 73rd Republic Day. At some point or the other in our life, all of us have seen the march past, and the lucky few have been there right on the venue and not in front of the TV to watch this march past. Now, my question to all of you is, what, in your opinion, marks the end of the Republic Day festivities? So please feel free to use the chat box. So what, in your opinion, marks the end of the Republic Day festivities? Is it just the march past? Oh, there you go. Somebody answered just what was in my mind. So it's a beating retreat. Somebody else, yeah, the others. Well, while I go ahead and share my screen, keep the answers coming, please. Okay. That's right. The answer I was looking for is the beating retreat. Now, when we think about the speech contests that our District 121 is going to start the season soon, what, in your opinion, would be the end of a given speech contest? Would it be the declaration of the winners? Or would the end, as you consider, of a speech contest be the beginning of something beautiful? I've been part of many contests over the last 5.5, 6 years that I've been around in Toastmasters. And at the end of each of these contests, I've been able to make at least one new friend. So for me, what would be considered as the end of the contest was actually the beginning of something beautiful. Now, if we think in terms of contests, the calendars, what is it for the year 2021, 22 that the District 121 has decided for? All the contests begin at the club level. And for this year, District 121 has decided to go ahead with the international speech contest, the evaluation speech contest, and the table topic speech contest. So you expect all the club contests to complete before respective area contests. And from the club level, you move on to the area level. And the expectation here again is all the 3 contests, and this needs to finish around 31st of March. Yes, we know we have a couple of areas who are doing it in the first week of April, but then most of them would complete by the 31st of March. From the area, then you move on to the division. Here again, the 3 contests we have, and the time frame within which we are planning to have these contests is 1st of April to 8th of May. Again, you see a tilde there, approximately 1st of April, because we know we have one division that's going to conduct it towards the end of March itself. Now, club, area, division, from there on, you move on to the semifinals or the runouts before the actual district final occurs. And we've scheduled the semifinals tentatively for the 27th of May and the district finals during the conference or otherwise tentatively scheduled for 28th and the 29th of May. Now, this is what would be the kind of knowledge we need to know as a district of 121. You can also keep in mind the fact that only the international speech contest is what is conducted beyond your district level. Now, throughout this presentation, I have introduced this idea of a thought bubble. And what does it mean? At this point in time, whenever you see a thought bubble, I would have tried to put one fun fact or the other from anything related to contest management out there. So here is what you need to do. At the start, our district director reminded all of us to keep pen, paper, pencil, whatever it is that we use to take down notes ready. So here's a request to each one of you. As you proceed through this presentation, please put down a score for yourself every time you see a thought bubble like this. So in this particular thought bubble, what I put forward to you is that the speech contest rule book contains rules and standard procedure for conducting these 5 contests: the international speech contest, the evaluation speech contest, the humorous speech contest, table topics, and the tall tales contest, all 5 of them. So if this name of these contests or the fact that all 5 are listed there is already known to you, you put a score of 0. But if anything that's mentioned on this particular page is new to you, please score 1. So that's the game we are playing throughout. Towards the end, you'll see where we stand with respect to the tally. That's okay. You could put down wherever you're taking notes, you can put down the notes, not necessarily on the chat window. Now, for the year 21-22, District 121 has published this contest calendar. Where do they publish it? How do we know? Hey, this year I have noticed that the PR activities have gone a notch higher than last year. With each year, we are improving, we are learning, we are making it better. All of this is available on the social media platforms. This I've pulled out from FB. In a similar fashion, if you go through all the other social media platforms that District 121 marks their presence on, you will see a similar calendar like this. Okay, for some reason, I'm not there on social media. How would I get access to this? Please reach out to your area directors. Please reach out to your division directors. All of them have this calendar available and you can use it as a ready reckoner. In case you wanted to go and listen to some contestant in a different area, please feel free to look up the dates, follow up, get the invites, go attend. That's an experience for each one of us. Now, what's the selection sequence like? From the club to the area, we expect the first place contestant to move ahead. From the area to the division, again, the first place. From the division to the semifinals, we again expect each division to send 1 candidate or 1 contestant forward. At the semifinals, we will be having 2 semifinals. We'll pick up 3 highest placed contestants and they move to the district final. Now, is this in accordance with the rule book? Moving only 1 person? Shouldn't it be 2? Do you have these doubts in your mind? Yes, sending 1 over to the next level is also according to the rule book. This is at the discretion of the district, and the district has decided that this contest season, we are moving only 1 person, only the first place contestant from the club to the area to the division. Now, each club can choose to either have an online or an offline contest, but not a hybrid contest. I saw this as lying as one of the questions during the previous session. I hope this answers your query to whoever was asking some time ago. The idea being that if you have either an online or an offline, you basically are giving the contestants an equal level playing field. Mixing up both is not going to make it an equal level playing field for everyone. So club, area, division, semi-final. Now from here, you move on to the district final. Now here again, it's time for a thought bubble. So what does the thought bubble say? When do we need a semi-finals? In a district with more than 10 divisions, that's when we have this run-off competition among the division winners. And this is held before the district contest finals. If this rule, as stated in the speech contest rule book, is new to you, please go ahead and get a score of 1. If this is something you already knew, you mark yourself a 0. Now, when we say about club contests, we said that a club is at a liberty to conduct a contest or move a contestant directly to the area level. Now, suppose a club decides, I have only one contestant, I don't want to have a contest, then the person moves automatically. But what if I conduct a contest actually? And we have this club contest, only one speaker. We had the contest. The speaker had to speak for 5 to 7 minutes. The speaker spoke for 8.5 minutes. Does this speaker qualify to move to the area contest? Can I see the answers in the chat box, please? Just a yes, no would do. I'll repeat that scenario again. There's only one contestant. He has participated in the club contest, but there's a disqualification based on time. You're right. The person does not move to the area because the person has been disqualified. The clubs have the option to have a contest or directly move the contestant, but having had the contest, you need to follow all the rules as mentioned in the speech contest rule book. Now, we spoke about somebody being ineligible. Now, let's look at the eligibility for each contestant as part of the contest. You need to be a paid member of the club in the area, division, and district in which you're competing. In addition to that, your club must be in good standing. So these 2 rules hold for all the 3 contests that our district is having. In addition to these, can the members be muted, please? Master. Thank you. In addition to these 2, we have an additional rule for ISA, which says that to contest in a ISC contest, you need to have completed 6 speeches according to the traditional path, or have completed levels 1 and 2 from pathways. Is there an exception to this rule? Yes, if you're a charter member of a chartered club and this chartered less than 1 year before the club contest. So any doubts about this exception to the rule? If yes, please raise your hands right now, or I will go on to the next slide. Go ahead, please. Ask your question.
Hello, good morning. So what if the club is an old one, but the member is new, like less than 6 months? So can they contest for ISC?
At this point, I need help from the PQD. In my opinion, the answer is no, but can you please?
No, it is applicable only for the charter members. Charter members means, when they are members during the chartering of that club. No new members can have this option.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
A repeat question based on this. If the member has completed pathways level 1 and level 2, can they compete in the contest?
Yes,
it is not an exception. No, in normal, like any other members, they can also contest. Okay, I hope it is clear now.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, over to you, Licy.
Thank you, Narayanan sir. Like we say, a set of people are eligible. The speech contest rule book is very clear of a set of folks who are not eligible to participate in the various speech contests. All district officers whose term expires on June 30th, 2022 are not eligible to compete in the contests. the immediate past district director, and also district officers or candidates for elected position starting July 1st, 2022. So these are the officers who are ineligible to, officers plus to be officers who are ineligible to compete in any of these contests. And in addition to that, if you are a contest official in a given contest, you should not be participating in that contest. So these are the set of folks who are ineligible to compete. Now, that set of eligibility and not being eligible was for contestants. How about judges? Do we have a similar eligibility criteria for the judges? Yes, at a club contest, any paid member can be a judge. But at an area, division, or district, there are some additional criteria that need to be satisfied. You need to be a paid member for a minimum of 6 months, and you should yourself have completed 6 speeches or completed level 1 and level 2 in pathways. So that's for the area, division, and the district. Now, there are other terms like region quarterfinals, semifinals, world championship of public speaking. I am going to restrict myself till what matters at the district. And we can leave this for a discussion at a later point in time. At the division and district contests, all the judges must not be a member of any club in which the contestant is a member. That's an additional criteria that you need to keep in mind when you volunteer to be a judge, or when you're chosen to be a chief judge, or when you are selected to be a tie-breaking judge at any contest. A thought bubble again. The terms region quarterfinals, semifinals, world championship of public speaking. So these 3 terms as is. This is the first time you're hearing? If yes, score 1. These are terms you already know. Put a 0 against that. So we spoke about terms for the contestants, judges. Now we speak about contest officials and anything else. Okay, I see a raised hand. Go ahead, Srijit. Please ask your question.
Yeah, hi, thank you. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Toastmaster, this regards to the qualification of the judges. At the division and district level, do you need to be a distinguished Toastmaster to be a judge or a chief judge? Please advise. Thank you.
According to the rule book, you just need to have a minimum of 6 months. You should have completed 6 speeches or level 1 and level 2. There is no mention of you being a distinguished Toastmaster. It goes without saying that if you have accomplished and you have become a distinguished Toastmaster, you obviously have more experience. But is that a minimum requirement? No, it is not a minimum requirement. At this point, I would also like to bring your attention to what are the kind of best practices District 121 is trying to promote. In District 121, if you want to be a judge, we encourage you all to have participated in at least 1 SAW session. You had the speech analysis workshop. Along with that, you should attend today's session, the judges training and the contest management session, to be eligible as a judge for District 121. So that's an additional criteria that we are putting in, but that's not what the rule book asks for. Have I answered your question?
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
Is there anything else you wanted to add to this, Mr. PQD?
We can take judges from the eligible judges list, not only from not from the district, but if the member is fulfilling the criteria as stipulated in the Toastmasters International Rulebook, definitely he or she can be the judge. But in order to get points for the Hall of Fame award, we have to take the judges from the list in the district site. That's all.
Just wanted to ask a supplementary question in this regard. See, I'm also a member of a Toastmaster from a different district and region. And in that region, what we follow is apart from the Toastmaster guidelines, we also encourage people to do only the judging workshop and the chief judging workshop. But speech analysis workshop is something which is new to me. I've not seen it in the other districts. So say I've already attended the judging workshops and I've been a chief judge and a judge before in other divisions. So if I want to be a judge in District 121, as you said, I also need to do the speech and SAW, the speech analysis workshop. But that means I would be ineligible to be a judge in District 121. Is that correct?
No, you can be a judge in the District 121, provided you fulfill the criteria as stipulated in the rule book. But if your club in District 121 want to get a point towards Hall of Fame, that judge shall be enlisted in the list stipulated by District 121. That is, at least attend one speech analysis workshop and also attend this judges training program and contest management, which is happening today.
Okay.
This is the eligibility criteria to be enlisted in the list of District 121 eligible judges list.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Bye.
So that's just like icing on the cake. You're going to put in the effort to be a judge. You have attended these workshops. You get the satisfaction of having learned, and you also get an opportunity to practice as a judge. But if you satisfy the SAW requirement also, it is the icing on the cake where your club gets that point for the Hall of Fame. That's what it is. Okay.
Hello.
Yes, Kavita.
Kavita here, Licy. So in case I am the chief judge and I have taken someone who has not done a SAW and JTP, but they have enough experience and distinguished Toastmaster status and all that. So when I file for, when I send across to the district about which club my judges were from in the panel, should I ask them that they have done it or not?
You would have the list of these judges published in the 121 website.
Correct.
So you would be aware, has the person completed or not. So
Correct.
You are not the one who is tracking the Hall of Fame awards, right? So the district has enabled or empowered a few folks to do that. They would do the validation for that.
Okay, but I am just going to file all the 5 people's names and the clubs. Not the names, only the clubs, right? That's what I will be doing. I don't have to worry about, whether they did SAW or not, whether that club will get Hall of Fame or not. I don't have to worry about it.
No.
Okay.
Thanks. If I might just add one point specifically related to the Hall of Fame, with your permission, distinguished Toastmaster Licy. So this is for everyone here. Now, the SAW is only a tool to ensure that you have been current and most relevant when it comes to contest preparation, which is why district's recommendation of anyone who is an eligible judge will include those who are attending one of the SAWs at least this specific session and have completed level 2, which is a requirement from Toastmasters International. Now, it's a recommendation that you pick people from the list that qualifies, that has people sitting through this, because we know as a district that they are the most relevant. But if you want to use your discretion and you have a DTM and they have not attended any of this, but you know that they are relevant and they are up to date with the contest rule book and changing guidelines of the contest, go ahead and invite them. But district's recommendation will only be for those people who have actively taken part in at least one of the SAWs and attended this particular section, because we know that you have come through the latest of the training that the District 121 is giving. That was one thing. The second point about the Hall of Fame points is, As a chief judge, you have already should have done the due diligence by inviting only those people, and we will only recommend this area and above to pick people from the eligible folks, area directors and above. We will request you to ensure that you call for these judges or ask for judges from a district's recommended list. But at the club level, if you've already gone ahead and you call for those people, our job as a chief judge finishes, or as a contest chair finishes, the moment you only mark the club's name of the person that you have invited. So voting judge or contest official, ensure that you have the club's name entered, because we're not capturing any other details for the Hall of Fame. That will take care of the points that is relevant for the clubs in with respect to contest in the Hall of Fame. I hope that clarifies for Kavita and the earlier questions that came up. Sorry, I had to mention this in the beginning, Licy. Thank you so much, and back to you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So now we are moving on to what is the eligibility that contest officials should meet. All of them must be paid members, and contest officials must not serve in more than one role for the same contest. And here, again, I would say for clubs, we should say as much as possible, so as practical as you can be. So that's what the rule book says. Now, when it comes to evaluation contests, there is a person known as a test speaker. There are again some set of rules for the test speaker. The test speaker must be a paid member, and the test speaker should not be a candidate for elected district leader positions for the term beginning July 2022. So this is some things that you need to keep in mind, especially the contest chairs, when you identify who your test speaker is going to be. Now, at this point, I want all of you to look into wherever you're capturing your notes and see where your scoring stands. Have you opened your scorebook? Or if you haven't opened your scorebook, can I just see a raise of hands? For those who have not. Okay. Good. So the numbers that I see coming up, okay. So I do see some those who have raised their hands. For those who have numbers there, it means that you have been able to learn something new during the session. For those who have raised their hands, which means that you learned nothing new, I hope this was the opportunity for you to revisit or what you already know, a refresher kind of activity for you. Now, when it comes to the actual set of contest officials, what is it that the rule book has to state? So for a club contest, according to the rule book, you need a chief judge, you need a tiebreaker judge, you need a minimum of 5 voting judges, you need 2 timers, 2 counters. In addition to that, 2 sergeant at arms, 1 contest chair, contest master, moderators, and master of ceremonies. In some of them, you see, I have put asterisks there. So those are good to have kind of roles. It is not mandated in the rule book as saying you need these many of them, especially the sergeant at arms, contest master, and master of ceremonies. I have found that if you have a master of ceremony, the person who actually knits the complete program together, then the handing over from one person to the other is more effective. That's why I like to have a master of ceremonies in the contest that I am a contest chair. Otherwise, for clubs, 1 contest chair, 1 chief judge, 1 tiebreaker judge, a minimum of 5 voting judges, 2 timers, 2 counters. When it comes to the area, the numbers are the same. When it comes to the division, the voting judges counts increase to 7. That's the minimum recommended in the rule book. For the semifinals, again, it is 7. And for the finals, the count of voting judges is 7 and the counters is 3. These are the numbers suggested by the rule book, and it's a good to have minimum, especially in case of the voting judges. especially more so when we are doing it online. Why? Technology, we are dependent on it. Today, my connection is there, but somewhere in between, we heard so many questions, right? What happens if I am judging and all of a sudden the connection goes? So your strength lies in numbers. You have many more of the judges, you get a better opportunity or a better chance of having a good set of judges helping you out, even if one of the good judges have had to drop off the contest because of the network connection. Okay, I see a question. Why do we keep not odd? Why do we keep odd number of judges? Did I get that question right? Okay. It's just probability to avoid ties. More likely that you will get a better chance, probability of getting a unique winner if you have odd number of judges. That's all it is. And I couldn't, how many times ever I repeat, it won't be sufficient. The idea that you need to keep a backup for each of these roles. It's not just judges, it's not just timers or counters. For all of these roles, especially the moderators, you need to make sure that you have someone who can step in should there be a problem. So that's the kind of set of folks that you need to build in when you think in terms of contest officials. Now, this one slide, I've tried to give you in a nutshell picture. That's trying to reduce into just 6 boxes the entire idea of contest management, right from the beginning when you identify who is going to be the contest chair, till the end part of it when we have adjourned the contest and declared the winners. So it looks good, but it's a heavily loaded and packed slide that you will realize as I speak through each of these, okay? The entire contest season or the contest activity for a club begins by the identification of the contest chair. A contest chair could be some self-nominated person or a person who has been nominated by the club executive committee or your area director, division director. It's a good practice to take your area director into confidence when you are running things at your club and take his inputs or her inputs, because that actually will add value to your contest. Identify the contest chair, and that is the person who does all the magic. The contest chair kickstarts the whole contest for your club. And the contest chair is the one who identifies the chief judge. Now, this is why I say that you need to take your AD or your division director into confidence, because what if you're relatively new to this district, don't know enough people who could be chief judges? Who do you reach out to? Reach out to your area director, reach out to the distinguished Toastmasters in your club or your division director, get information, find out who are the probable candidates, then use your judgment and go ahead and identify the chief judge. That's where the whole activity begins. Now, once the chief judge is identified, is the chief judge's duty to identify the additional judges. When I say additional judges, I mean both the voting judges as well as the tiebreaker judge, to identify the counters and to identify the timers. So is the chief judge acting all by himself? No. The chief judge can work with the contest chair to identify counters and timers should they want to take people from the same club. Here again, I would say the more the synergy between the contest chair and the chief judge, the better run your event will be. So this is where, you get that opportunity. In the beginning, I said that for me, many times, this is the beginning of a new friendship. When we work together, we not only deliver something that's of a good quality, we also build lasting friendships. So here, work together, identify who are your judges, counters, and timers. When these two activities are done, you've basically taken care of a good part of what is required for the contest. Now you move on as a contest chair to identify who is going to be your moderator. Now, when you say moderator, what is it, the criteria of selection for a moderator? So in District 121, most of us use Zoom for our contests. So assuming that I'm going to assume that you're going to use Zoom as your platform to hold the contest, in which case, when you look for a moderator, ensure that moderator is a person who's very comfortable using Zoom. Very comfortable as in understands the tool. So if you're using Zoom, the moderator should know what are these options to go ahead and create breakout rooms. How does the assigning happen? What is the option to go and mute the members of the audience? And should also have the presence of mind to unmute, give the person the ability to unmute himself. So this is what are the talents that you should look for in a moderator. Anyone who is comfortable using the platform that you as a contest chair have identified for the contest. The sergeant at arms, again, a person who's helpful and willing to do the activities that are required. When I say helpful and willing to do, because at least one sergeant at arms is going to miss the contest, is going to miss listening to the contestants, because that sergeant at arms is in the breakout room with the other evaluation speech contestants or table topic contestants. So that kind of attitude, okay, I am part of the contest, but may not get to listen, should be there within the person you select as a sergeant at arms. Contest master, I saw this question somewhere some time ago. Is it contest chair or contest master? The rule book has clearly stated that contest master is someone a contest chair can identify as a role player for a given contest. So let me just pull out that statement from the rule book and read it as it is. The contest chair may appoint a contest master to perform any of the chair's duties. In such a case, the term contest toastmaster should be considered synonymous with the contest chair. A contest toastmaster is also ineligible to compete in the contest at which they are serving. So in some sense, a contest master is an extension of the contest chair in the sense that you do the duties that your contest chair has identified for you. So I hope that part of it is clear, contest chair, contest master. Now, at this point, with these three boxes, what we have done is we have identified all the role players. Having identified all the role players, what is it next that we need to do for our contest? You need to ensure that your contest is getting as much publicity as possible. So please work on all your PR activities, get your agenda in place, get the pictures of all the contestants, and make your flyers, everything available. The more the people who attend your conference, the better the quality, in most cases, the better the quality of the interaction that you will have after the contest is over or before the contest begins. So ensure that a good amount of effort is also spent in doing your PR activities for your contest. So that covers the planning part of it, that you have planned for who are the role players, what is the agenda, and how you're going to go about giving publicity for your event. Now, before the event and related to the event is the concept of briefings. So what are you doing during the briefings? So briefings for contestants are held by the contest chair. Here you walk the contestants through what is going to happen at the contest. You give them a set of documents which they sign and they accept and share it back with you and bring them up to speed on everything they need to know of what is happening during the contest. So that's the contestant briefing that the contest chair will do. In a similar manner, there is a concept of judges briefing that's managed by the chief judge. Now, in my opinion, the timer and the counter and the timer could be present at the judges briefing when they are told who exactly is the judge and what needs to be done. Especially the counter needs to know how to get the ballots. Because it's an online contest, what I have seen happening, the ones that I have participated in, is that we have separate WhatsApp groups. So the chief judge forms a group of all the judges, and that's what we use to communicate with each other, especially in cases of, okay, I can't hear the contestant, no, you should not give an okay yet, you know. And once this is over, we also send our ballot that back to the one-on-one. We don't share it in the group, we directly send to the chief judge. So use whatever. I have worked with using WhatsApp, but use whatever it is. So what you need to do is, when you're in the briefing, you share that process with each of the contestants or the judges, timers, tally counters, whatever is your idea of how the communication should happen. What is the tool to use? What is the process to follow? All of this is what you do during the briefings. Along with that, it's advisable to have dry runs. At the dry runs, what do? We make sure that the contestant has an opportunity to identify the speaking area, the lighting, in whatever is the scenario that the contestant has to speak during the contest. We try to recreate that and identify and come to an agreement on what is the speaking area for that given contest. So that's why we suggest have a dry run. If you have all of this done, at least a day before the contest, it's very useful. Now, the disadvantage is if you have it done during the setup done a day before the contest, you may tend to move things around for the next day, the contest day actually, and then things may not work in the same fashion. So it's ideal that whatever setup you have created during the run, dry run, and what you have agreed on, maintain it so that when you come back for the contest tomorrow, it is ready and available and you're familiar with it. You will be at ease when the contest actually happens. Now, if a contest is to start at 9, preferably by 8 or 8:15, the Zoom master comes in and ensures that the meeting room is open. So what does that do? That puts everyone involved with the contest at ease, be it the contestant or the contest role takers. They get a chance to, okay, can I share my screen? Can I test my mic? Can I? There'll be many such requests. You allow that time for them to feel comfortable, try out whatever it is that they need to do. And please don't leave the Zoom moderator alone at this time. It's good if the contest chair, contest master, sergeant at arms, who are involved, are also available to control the meeting, the time before the actual contest begins, before the actual meeting begins, so that the Zoom master is able to give everybody a chance. At the same time, remember not to deprive somebody else of the chance because somebody took a really long time to get set up. So these small things, if you keep in mind, adds to the quality of experience each member in that meeting experiences. And that actually adds value to the whole idea of Toastmasters. Now, during the contest, we expect the audience to have muted themselves, and we expect the Zoom master to be able to control that. So if the audience are muted, we don't get those disturbances. Like when I was speaking in the beginning, we had somebody else, we heard somebody else speak. During one of these sessions, it's fine, it happens. But we don't want this to happen when we have a contestant who's practiced for the last 6 months, put in all the effort, standing to speak, and as he speaks, have someone else speak over him. It's distracting. We need to respect the contestant, make sure that our mics are muted, and we take care of all of this. So we as an audience need to be disciplined about it. And the Zoom master needs to ensure that timely the chat window, the mic, and all these options are taken care of. That is during the meeting. Now, after all the contestants have done their speaking part, what is it that you have to do? As a contest chair, you should make sure that after all the contestants have spoken and the chief judge and the counters are moved into the break room, you do not keep the audience silent. Engage them. How would you engage them? By starting distribution of the participation certificate. And even then, if your chief judge has not come back to the meeting room, what do? You start with an interview session with the participants. Do what it takes to keep the audience engaged at that point in time. Now, once the chief judge has come back to the meeting room, depending on how you've decided to conduct your contest meeting, you may choose to declare the results then, or you would choose to declare the results after all the 3 contests are done. Suppose you have all the 3 contests the same day. Do you do it at the end together? Do you do it right after each contest? That completely depends on what you have planned as the agenda for that particular meeting. In case you have planned to declare the results at the end, after all the 3 contests are over, then make sure that after you have finished each contest, you adjourn the contest. That is what is important. So you're basically saying the evaluation speech contest is complete now. And then you start with your topics contest. So again, you have the whole contest going. Chief judge has gone out and come back, which means the results are also ready. And you're not going to declare it after the table topics contest. Please adjourn that contest also. In a similar fashion, after ISC, make sure that you adjourn the contest also. And at the end of it, choose to declare the results. So this is what you need to keep in mind if you are having more than 1 contest in a given meeting. And after all the results are declared, make sure that these results are also shared to the next level officers who will be in charge of the next set of meetings. So from the club to the area to the division, from the division to the semis to the district finals. So this, in a nutshell, covers all that you need to do in a contest. After this, what I will do is I will walk you through what I spoke as part of this, but with respect to each individual. For example, now I'm talking to you, what are the responsibilities of a contest chair? I may have covered some of this as part of the whole contest cycle. So do we want to take questions here, or shall I cover these slides? Can I see a thumbs up to go ahead? Okay. So responsibilities of a contest chair. The contest chair, as I said earlier, should identify the chief judge in consultation with the district officers, so area division directors. The contest chair may appoint the contest Toastmaster to perform any of the chair's duty and conduct the contest briefing, and speaking order must be drawn. Okay, somebody raised a hand. Can you go ahead and ask your question?
Comment, DTM Licy, is that the chief judge must also, the contest notification must keep the rank of all the people who contested. In case the first drops out, second drops out also, third, fourth, so we must have the full list maintained. You know, sometimes it happens that the list is not maintained, and then you left kind of, what can I say, you know, trying to fork out the names from somewhere from memory and all that. So I think the list must be of all the people who ranked 1, 2, 3, even 4th sometimes. It has happened to me in the past when I've done that.
Thank you for bringing that to attention, that the chief judge needs to rank all the contestants, even the 4th at times. I understand that what you're saying is, should the first contestant not be available for some reason, then you get the second. If the second is not available, you get the third. That way, ensuring that one person always proceeds to the next.
Yeah,
level.
that's right. That's right. Particularly the area level, it becomes important.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing that to attention. Okay, so I was at the third point, speaking about the contestant briefing and the speaking order draw. This is a responsibility of the contest chair. Now, for speaking order draw, are you going to use any online tool because it's an online meeting? Yes. What is the tool? Again, as contest chair, it's your choice. Does the district have to make suggestions? We who have used it in the past can tell you what's available when we did it. If you have newer tools that are useful, please go ahead and use them. As long as you're being fair, that is all that matters here. Then the other activity or the task for the contest chair is that the subject of the table contest speeches must be determined by the contest chair. I know a lot of discussion went on to this, and I actually have one more slide which is specific to this. We'll come to that later. The contest chair master. So here you see I have done the / master must conduct a contest. So here again, it depends on what it is that is planned for a specific given contest. Now, remember, as a contest chair, you have a very important role during protest and disqualifications, and also ensure that you announce that the meeting is adjourned. Then the contest chair announces the winners of the contest. So this is where I am putting on the responsibility, putting out there the responsibilities of a contest chair only, instead of speaking in terms of this. Now, this is something very close to my heart about what should the table topic look like. According to the rule book, the topic must be of a reasonable length, must not require a detailed knowledge, and must lead to an opinion or conclusion. Just 3 simple points that you, the contest chair, should keep in mind when you arrive at the topic. Don't make it a mouthful, such a long sentence that it becomes difficult to relate with. So please keep it of reasonable length, and don't expect me to know technical details in order to speak on the topic that you give me. Now, in case of a table topics contest, what I have remembered is I read it in one of the 3 documents that I have been looking through is the speech contest rule book, the changes that have come in, and the third one is the best practices. All 3 are from TI itself. In one of the 3, there was this, somewhere I had read that you can privately ping the topic to the contestant. And we had a district director also confirm this. And the next point was about you may view the chit on which the topic is written as this is something that's done in a in-person meeting. So this is again a learning for me. Okay, this was something I learned and spoke with my fellow Toastmasters after I heard it in one of the SAW discussions, so the speech analysis workshop meetings where this came up. And this is the last point, ensure that you read the topic completely and correctly. This is a point that I heard Bosco mention it again. You may have memorized it because there are 8 contestants. By the 4th, you have memorized it. You think you know it. Please take the paper in your hand, read word by word. And then for reading, what is the rule to be followed? We heard C.K. Balal's also mention about that. Okay, what you should not be doing. Just read the whole thing as it is written. Don't add to it. Simple points, but makes the life of the contestant much simple and easier. Otherwise, you tend to make people nervous. Will I hear him right? Oh, he doesn't pronounce correctly. Will I get it right? You know, you could have so many fears. As it is, when you're a contestant, there are butterflies turning in your stomach, flying all around, creating all kind of tension for you. So if the contest chair adheres to these simple rules, it will make things much easier for the contestant. Just simple rules, keep in mind, and let's move on to, okay. Moving on to the responsibilities of the chief judge. I like this bit. The chief judge does not judge contestants. You collect the time record sheet and the tie-breaking judge's ballot. But where is it going to be difficult for you? You're not judging, you think, oh, it's so easy for me. No. Should there be a dispute, remember, it's on your shoulders to settle it well. Just be fair. Make sure things go according to what is stated in the rule book and take the contest to an even greater height by your actions. The chief judge appoints the judges, the tie-breaking judges, the counters and the timers. And the chief judge also briefs the judges, counters and timers on their duties. Now, after all the contestants have spoken, the chief judge records the ranking of all the contestants on the notification of contest winner form. This is what you have the list there. And you play a very important role during protest and disqualifications. Yes, Nandajan, you have a question. I see your hands raised.
Yes, here in the slide it reads, Chief Judge records the ranking of all contestants on the notification of contest winner form. Actually, the Chief Judge gets only first, second, and third position as ranking. Tiebreaker judge may rank all the contestants. So how Chief Judge will rank all contestants? Only 3 can be ranked because judges are giving only first place, second place, and third place. If there are 10 contestants, how the ranking can be done?
Okay, it is true that winners are declared as 3 if that is what has been decided. And how many are moving to the next level is also decided already. Just a few minutes ago, we had C.K. Balal sir mention something, right? And in my opinion, this answers the question, or this puts forward or emphasizes on exactly the same point, saying that the chief judge records the ranking of all the contestants. Can I request C.K. Balal sir to just work?
May I answer the question?
Sorry, Shaji wants to do that. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Nandajan, when we tabulate, as I had shown you in the practical examples of 5 candidates, we have a clear-cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for every contestant from the tally counters chart. Because for every contestant is listed first, second, third. First, second, third will be ranked from each judge. Finally, when you total it up, you get a ranking there itself. You break the tie and you get it. So you have an entire list of people who are coming will be ranked from the tally counters sheet itself. And that will be listed as a in the notification.
Yes, Shaji, thank you for answering that one. But the entire list of contestants may not get ranked. For example, if 5 judges gives, and I may get only 1, 2, 3, 4 at time. I may get only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at times, because it can happen.
No, that is
a hypothetical situation. Let me take a hypothetical situation.
I'll tell you. Suppose there are 10 contestants participating. The two of them are not being listed also. I mean, they have not got any points from any of the judges. In that case, you have a tie there as well. Correct?
Yeah, that's why I asked.
Yeah, you will break the tie. There you will use the tie-breaking judge again and fill that positions also. You get a clear ranking without any problem there. Because you may have second, third, fourth. I think I have answered it. You have any more?
Thank you. Thank you.
Can I give Vanita the opportunity to speak, Vanita?
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Licy. First of all, we'll have to remember that there are 2 forms that a chief judge will be filling. First one is the results form, which will only have for the contest chair the 3 winners or the 2 winners, or depending on how many winners have made it at the time of the announcement of the results. So that's the results form. The chief judge will be noting down another form which is called the notification of contest winners, which will have to be sent to the contest chair of the next level. most likely we don't know who the next level person is. So say for example, at the area contest, you send it to the division director, assuming that the division director will pass on this contest, the notification of contest winners form. Now on this form, we will have only qualified contestants. We will not necessarily have all the contestants who appeared in a contest. If somebody got disqualified on time, they do not appear on the notification of contest winners because they got disqualified. So only qualified winners make it to qualified contestants. If there is a tie, then the tie-breaking sheet gets used, and the chief judge lists down all the qualified winners in the ranking of their order who can be eligible for the next level of contest, 1, 2, 3, based on the number. So these are two different forms. Both need to be filled by the chief judge. One to be given to the contest chair immediately for the announcement of the results, and the second form is to take it to the next level, giving it to the contest chair of the next, the next level of the contest. I hope that clarifies. And not necessary that all the contestants make it on that sheet, Nandajan. Only the qualified contestants make it to the contest winners notification form.
Thank you.
Thank you, Licy, for the opportunity. Back to you.
Okay, so this, let me just tell you how I have put this slide up there. It's not possible to list the entire set of activities or responsibilities of the chief judge. So I have tried to put 2 as before, 2 as, and so you see there's a gap, then 2 during the contest and 2 after the contest. So I have realized that many of the judges miss on the notification of contest winner forms. And I have found that it is important in my perspective, so I have put it there. And it is in accordance with what TI requests, expects us to do as chief judges. Okay. Now, what are the responsibilities of the judges? The anonymous judges, in some sense, thankless, but in some sense, the most important activity you do, you help select a winner. Please attend the judges briefing and make yourself comfortable with the tools used for judging. Some of the years we've used Toastmaster, some years we use Excel, some years we just take a screenshot and share it across. So the whole process would have been discussed with you. Please follow what is the process. It will be uniform for all of you, and do what is required of you using the tools that's required of you in that given contest. Now listen attentively and make known your concerns to the chief judge. Here again, the process of how you communicate with the chief judge is something the chief judge would have informed you during the judge's briefing. Mark your ballot, select the top 3 winners. So with this, your activities during the contest is done. And after all that is done, you submit your ballot. Remember to destroy all the evidence that you have generated during that process of selection of the winners. So all of these were discussed in the previous session. I assume I don't have to take it any further. Responsibilities of the tiebreaker, I would like to just highlight one. Mark your ballot, assigning a sequence for all the contestants. That's where things are different for you. Just highlighting it because I see it's 1 hour already. And same, you destroy stuff. Tally counter, attend all your briefings. And once all the contestants have spoken, you move to the break room, tally as per the judges' results, check any ties, confirm tie-breaking judges' vote is correctly used. Now, for a tally counter, this bit is what I consider is important. You have a role to play if results are announced incorrectly. So please come back to the main meeting, be there till all the results are announced. So sometimes it can be accidental also, right? 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, which format have I announced? So you be there because you were involved in arriving at that 1, 2, 3, you know the math, you did the tally. Be there, listen to it, just point out and ensure that the correct results are declared. Timer, you know what your role is. Make sure things are on the right cards are displayed at the right time. Fill the contest sheets, share the record with the chief judge, and remember, you also have an opportunity to raise a protest. So use it judiciously. Now, I consider this a very big responsibility and a difficult activity, and you need to be a master of multitasking when you're the moderator. You need to do so many things together, and beginning to end, you just need to stay alert. It's like the full duration of the meeting, you need to be alert. Ensure that you've set up the right kinds of rooms, mute all, spotlight, share certificates, make the meeting as best of a good quality to the best of your ability. That's what a moderator should do. And a lot of our experiences bank on how the Zoom moderator controls the meeting, how you keep the audience muted, when you enable them to share the details. So this is something, a lot of the experience, end user experience, is mapped with your abilities to multitask and work with your chosen technology for the contest. So at this point, again, let's go back to the scores. How are we doing? Do we have folks who are still at 0? Raise your hands, please. Raise your hands if you're still at 0. Okay. So all what I spoke, these are the 3 books that 3 PDFs, simple, easy to use ones, which I have read through multiple times to be able to give this 1-hour session. And I would request each contest chair to please read the best practices online and share the relevant portions with the relevant role players. It's been useful. Somebody else has walked the path and told you what's easy. Please follow it. Our District 121 also empowers us, makes life easier for us by having this repository. So if you've gone to the District 121 website, you will see right now we have these 3 set of packages available: contestant packet, judges packet, and contest official packet. Now, if you knew that District 121 maintains this repository of these documents, please go ahead and score 0, because I already know about it. But if this is something new, give yourself 1. So you've learned something new. You know now that the district allows you to have this. So please do that. And what is there on the District 121 website already? The packages for ISC and Tall Tales is available. Now, if you've seen, I've done a strike through for Tall Tales because this season, this contest season, we do not have Tall Tales contest. We have the ISC evaluation and the table topics. So what's the current status of the documents for evaluation and table topics? It's under review, and soon we should have it up. Need help on anything? This is the PQD's extended team. Reach out to any of us. Either they would be able to help you with the answer, or at least guide you to the right person who should be able to give you the answer. And the people who took the session today, who should be able to help you out, the Chief Judge, Shaji Janardhan, the Distinguished Toastmaster Shaji, and the contest coordinator, that's me. So feel free to reach out to any of us, and that's the time for questions. So you raise your hands or put it in the chat window if you have any further questions. Okay, I see a question. Is guests allowed as audience? Yes, of course. Get your family and friends to attend. See what happens in Toastmasters. Maybe some of them are the Toastmasters for tomorrow. Okay, I had seen a hand raised and that's gone off. Can I know who that was? Did I answer the question?
Yes, hi, this is Srijit here, DTM Licy. Toastmaster Srijit here.
Hello, Srijit. Go ahead with your question.
See, my question was that in one of the evaluation contests at the club level, we had 6 contestants. And when the results were announced, only 2 contestants' results, the first and the second place, were announced, citing the reason that there was no other marking done for the remaining contestants. But as a tie-breaking judge, if he had given all the 6 rankings as well, then why was the chief judge not referring to the tiebreakers judge to decide on the 3rd person? Is that allowed as per the rule book, or is that not allowed? That was my question. Thank you.
Okay. The rule book does tell you of how many people need to be selected for no contest. If the number of contestants are X, number of contestants are Y, I will have to go back to the rule book and make sure I'm telling it correctly, unless somebody has it on their fingertips and can answer.
I can give another answer with your permission, Licy, and also PQD.
Yes, please.
See, Srijit, in the judges briefing, chief judge used to brief them, appraise them properly, saying that first, second, and third position will have to be filled. I'm saying a judge has no option to say, I will select only the first topper, second, no, it is not like that. It's a comparative position. Judges will have to vote for first, second, and third, right? So that means what? Invariably, third position, one member, one contestant will get 1 mark from that particular judge. Yes or no? There cannot be a absence of third ranking winner. That is ruled out because there is no option for a judge to leave second and third blank. In your example, there is no third place winner. That can never happen, right?
Yes, that exactly was my question because see, I've been a chief judge and a judge for the past 3-4 years. And when I got to know about this is something that I did not understand as well. I had gone back to the rule book and I just checked it. I didn't find any reason why the third place should not be there. So,
That's what I'm saying. As chief judge, you can get back to the voting judge and tell him that, see, your ballot is incomplete. You have signed it, named it, perfect, but it is not filled up completely.
Correct.
So Srijit, let me clarify a scenario where it can happen. See, if all the judges and after the tally counter, only we have received 3 best winners. That is all the judges matter only for the 3 contestants. And if one of them became ineligible, that means we will end up with 2. Right. This is one of the scenarios. We can have 2 winners. But in that case, the chief judge can look into the tiebreaker judge and take from the tiebreaker judge and make it 3.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly was my thought process as well, Toastmaster. So I was not a judge. I was just part of an audience at that point of time. And I was actually shocked when I got this result because when I heard this result. But since it's only the contestant or the chief judge who can, or the contestant who can lodge a protest if that matters, I had to keep quiet because if I was the chief judge, I would have definitely given for sure, I would have notified the third place winner also. Except, okay, yes, if the third place winner had a time disqualification, then what I would do as a chief judge would be to move the third person out and put the fourth person in the third place's position, referring to the voting judges sheet or the tie-breaking judge. Right, that is my usual procedure, but this was like a shock for me, so when being a club contest, I couldn't question much also because I was just an audience at that point of time.
Otherwise, all the contestants might have been disqualified on basis of time.
No, there was only one time. There was only one time disqualification.
So this is, adds value to what District 121 is doing. They have the speech analysis workshop, they have the judges training, they have the contest management, just to give you Toastmasters of every club an opportunity to learn a little bit more of what the speech rulebook has to say. Thank you for the question, and thank you both DTMs, Narayanan and
a big thank you from my side as well. Thank you for answering my question. Now I'm getting more clarity on this. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Distinguished Toastmaster Nagarajan also. Yeah.
We have a question from Toastmaster Augustine. I think she raised his hand.
Yeah. My question is directed to Chief Judge Shaji Jadardhan.
Yeah, you may please do
it. Is there any separate training program for Chief Judges? I have attended Chief Judge training program and Judges training program. I would like to know whether in order to just training program. And the second question would be, if per se a Toastmaster who attends Judges training program eligible to officiate as Chief Judge? DTM Saj.
Yeah. Thank you for that question, the DTM Sergeant. The first question is, there is no separate program planned for chief judges in District 121. And that's why we had shown some of the things with chief judge, just like tie breaking and all, in this particular session. So there is no separate session planned. Okay, now the second part is the chief judge. The specific qualifications of chief judge is not specified, but any qualified judge who has the knowledge of the all judging criteria and was being a judge for somewhere else can become a chief judge with its judging experience. Anything else anyone want to add?
Thank you.
It's better to have an experience of judging before, and you can do a chief judge. There is no specific criteria I have seen.
I have a question which I wanted to get clarified. So one of my members of the club wants to take part in the table topics contest, and he also wants to be a part of the ISC contest chair because he is not eligible to take part in ISC. He'll be taking part in the table topics contest, but not in the ISC. So can he do both?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you so much.
He can participate in all the three contests if he's eligible for the ISC. ISC is only demanding for certain qualifications. Other two contests, I mean, all the three can be done if he is qualified for ISC. He can do both, all, no problem.
The question that I heard is whether a person can participate in the table topic contest and be a contest chair for the international speech contest. That's what I heard. Please clarify that.
Yeah, that's the question. That's the question.
Sorry, then I got the question wrongly. Yeah, in the same contest, no. Two roles are not permitted to be done in the same contest.
But these are two different contests that this person spoke about. One is the table topics contest. So if I'm a club who has only the table topics contest today, I participate, I'm done with it. Now, tomorrow I have ISC, or today evening I have the ISC contest. I can be the contest chair for the ISC contest.
Yeah, like distinguished Toastmaster Nainan said over here, each contest will be adjourned after the contest. So each one is just an independent activity, so that there it is possible.
So on the same day, it is not possible.
Yeah,
if it happens on the same day, the both contest, one cannot be a contest master who can be a contestant in the next event.
I would beg to differ there because we have the rule that says that the contest needs to be adjourned, right? So suppose I have all the three in the same day. Then a contest master role, a sergeant at arms role, I can do because a contest master is only for ISC or only for evaluation contest. It is not spread across the three.
Yeah,
I think
yes, I see the distinguished Toastmaster Vanita raise her hand there.
Hi, distinguished Toastmaster Licy. So it really depends on how the judges play on that day. For example, you can't, the whole idea of saying that if you participate in one contest, don't participate in another is just to make sure that this contestant or contest official does not get any extra limelight with respect to judging. And so we ask you to keep away from all kinds of contests if you're a contestant in one. So that said, if you're a contestant in one, then you get the additional limelight for being a contest chair, and the judges get to know you before you come in action. So that is the reason why we recommend that if you're having the contest on the same day, then you participate only in one role, either as a contestant or the contest official. The most important thing is that every contestant that comes up on stage gets equal stage time or is treated impartially, and that's the reason why we discourage from taking multiple roles. That's the thought process behind it. So use your discretion. If you feel that somebody being an ISC contest chair the previous day is not going to affect them being a table topics contestant the next day for a contest, go ahead and have it. But as a thumb rule, just avoid appearing in a contest when you feel like it might give you leverage more than someone else. That should be the thumb rule that the contest chair should take care of.
Fair point. I still see one hand raised. Who's that?
Sorry, that was mine, Licy. I've lowered
Okay.
it now.
Sorry. Okay. So does that answer or clarify the doubts we had that led to this discussion?
Yes. Thank you so much.
Any more questions? So if not, it's time to say thank you and wishing you an enjoyable contest season and all the best to each one of us. Make sure you enjoy the contest in whatever role. Remember, when you work together as a team trying to pull off an event well, you make friends and this friendship lasts long. Especially at this time, when all of us are so far, it could be that WhatsApp message from that person you met that day in that contest that's uplifting your spirit right now. So go ahead, volunteer, enjoy, participate, and make the contest season for District 121 a success.